And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First up, the river breakup map. Everything south of the Brooks Range open as far as rivers go. And here are the northern main three rivers up there in the north slope, due to continued cold, snowy conditions up there, remain frozen over. And from there, looking at the hazardous weather graphic, there's a winter storm warning out here for the Brooks Range south of Toolik Lake, and from Manitowoc Pass to Adigan Pass are in this red boxed area right there. And that's out for tonight, tomorrow, and through Friday night until 7 a.m. Saturday, and that's for 6 to 12 inches of snow. And fire weather season in Alaska continues to be off to a slow start. Tanana Valley, 40-mile country, have the highest potential, but weather conditions aren't very conducive to fires at the present time. Other areas continue to be damp beneath surface fuels, preventing potential for big fires. The weekend looks to be cold and damp, so about continued, really no change as far as fire weather conditions go. And looking at spruce fire danger here across the south, low fire danger. In fact, no fire danger for spruce here in southern Alaska, and for some reason didn't get printed up to the north there. So moving on to satellite imagery. System moving across the southeast coast, bringing about a ½ inch of rain today over the southern panhandle, with becoming more showery and tapering off up here to the north. And you get into a lot of clearing out here over the Gulf of Alaska that shifts northward here as rain today and last night and today here for south central Alaska, moving off to the east-northeast. Kind of a rainy day, rainy and showery conditions, Copper River Basin up into the eastern and central interior, but clearing out Kodiak Island, clear skies moving up Cook Inlet here in the Kenai Peninsula, and back in toward Bristol Bay. Otherwise, not much out to the west here, just a few clouds out over the Bering Sea, then a more solid band out here to the west with the next front that's spreading into Chimay-Attu. And for tonight, that'll spread rain into that area, Chimay-Attu, back to the Komodorsky Islands. High pressure, light winds, dry conditions for the central Aleutian, southern Bering Sea. Weak disturbance here dropping southeastward brings some shower chances, or actually more of a cloudy, rainy, drizzly type pattern here for the Pribilof Islands. Otherwise dry here for Bristol Bay, Aleutians, all the way into Kodiak Island. Pick up some good clearing there. And again, about the same here up into southern Alaska. A few isolated showers slowly diminishing here over the Copper River Basin. And then that snow area there for the North Slope and the Brooks Range areas where the winter storm warning's out. And showers on the decrease, really tapering off and ending in a lot of areas here after midnight tonight as some weaker high pressure moves in. Probably some clearing as well to go along with that. Then tomorrow, or for Friday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, this next system coming up in the southwest flow pushes a chance of rain all the way up to the central coast there by late in the afternoon. For the most part, it'll be a dry day with some partly sunny skies there for the Panhandle. Same thing for the North Gulf Coast with a lingering isolated shower or two. A little more extensive shower activity here, especially in the afternoon for the mountainous terrain of the east and southeast interior. And still looking at snow for the Brooks Range and portions of the North Slope. Dry here to the west, mostly sunny there for Bristol Bay. Increasing clouds with increasing chances of rain along the southeast and southern side of Kodiak Island tomorrow afternoon. Again, due to this system, a lot of moisture moving northward here with that. And then that weak system here I spoke of earlier drops southeastward here and brings some light precipitation into mainly Unalaska Island, maybe over toward Falls Pass. But areas from Adak eastward here into the Alaska Peninsula remain dry. Northern Bering Sea, very light winds, dry conditions right up through the Bering Strait into the Chukchi Sea, as well as the Arctic coast, looking at light winds. High pressure, dry for Adak and Atka. Rain slowly moving eastward. This front already starting to weaken. And for the first day of the weekend, really falls apart here, spreading some light precipitation into Adak and Atka. Otherwise, high pressure keeps it dry with light winds over the northern Bering Sea as well as the eastern areas. A little breezy, northwest winds maybe up to 30 miles an hour here across the Alaska Peninsula or so. And picking up some rain with that trough here as this system, again from this position, Friday, Saturday moves northward there to just east of Kodiak Island. So wet weather for tomorrow night and Friday, or tomorrow night and Saturday for Kodiak, spreading up. Looks like a wet day for all of south central Alaska, moving up in toward the central interior and the Alaska Range, increasing wind and rain for the north coast of the Panhandle. This ridge of high pressure keeps winds light and conditions dry, but you'll see an increase in the clouds throughout the day for the central and southern southeast coast. And now rain and snow for the Brooks Range. I should say light rain and snow for that area, but dry from the north slope in the Arctic coast. And for the day on Sunday, this system, this is about all that's left of it out to the west there, just some shower activity moving into mostly Atka Island, and then back to the north there. To the west, dry conditions. To the east, dry conditions with light winds, weak high pressure here over the eastern Bering Sea. Partly sunny skies in the western part of the state, but this low tracking right up into south central Alaska over the Susitna Valley by Sunday afternoon. Couple of wet days coming up. In fact, a wet weekend here for southern Alaska, especially east of the Alaska Range, North Gulf Coast, and the Panhandle. Again, wetter, windier conditions to the north, drier and less wind down to the south. Showers to the Tanana Valley all the way up toward Arctic Village, back toward Anatuvik, with still an area of possible light snow here, central Arctic coast and the north slope. And for the lows tonight, 15 to 25 for the Arctic coast, north slope into the Brooks Range, and 40s, 30s and 40s here south of the mountains there, with lows right around 30 for St. Lawrence Island, upper 30s for the Aleutians, Pribilof Islands, near 40 for the Alaska Peninsula, in the 40s elsewhere. And for the highs tomorrow, in the 50s, south central Alaska, upper 40s to mid 50s here for the interior, 55 to 60 for the Yukon Flats and maybe over toward Northway and Tok, and 50s for the southeast coast, and lower 30s here for the Arctic coast, north slope into the Brooks Range, all the way down to St. Lawrence Island, 40s out over the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Lows for Saturday morning in the 20s. Brooks Range out to the Arctic Ocean in the upper 30s and 40s, or actually in the 30s, some areas, pretty chilly there, right around freezing there for McGrath and Nikolai, with lower to mid 30s all the way out to the southwest coast across the deltas, closer to 40 for Bristol Bay and the Alaska Peninsula, mid 40s for Kodiak Island, and in the 40s again for the southeast coast. And then the highs for Saturday afternoon, a little milder here, lower 60s up around Fort Yukon, Chakyatsik, Eagle down toward Northway, and 55 to 60 in the Tanana Valley, lower 50s here with the clouds and rain for south central Alaska, 50 to 52 or 48 to 52, and again in the 50s for the southeast coast.